It's Henry Tank here at the Spaces of Possibilities. We're currently on lunch break and we're I'm running a Access Consciousness body process class. So a body process class is where you learn to run one of the Access Consciousness body processes, which usually takes 3 hours or half a day. And today we're actually doing 2 processes, so it's a whole day. And we've got 3 other participants with me. And first of all, I'm going to talk to Des, who's right here.
Good.
And Des, tell us about your experiences of Access Consciousness bars, and Access Consciousness body processes.
Well, for me it's been amazing. I was fortunate enough to meet Jeanette, who has given me only 3 treatments of Access Consciousness. My history was that I have serious eye problems. I was due last Thursday for a major operation in which they were going to put a large implant into my eye, and it was the very last resort to save my vision. And after only 3 treatments, all the pressures and indicators say my eye is now normal, and if not better than normal, and that I no longer at this point need to have that serious operation. So I intend to continue with Access, and I expect that I'm going to have a full recovery from the trauma that I've had. Leading up to these 3 treatments, I had 5 operations in 5 months, starting with a trabeculectomy and further complications from that. So I'm really, really happy that I have discovered this process and found wonderful people that are helping me.
That's fantastic, Des. And so tell us a bit more about what kind of treatments you received.
In terms of Access or in terms of medical?
In terms of Access, and how that's interacted with the...
Yeah, well, the first thing I noticed was that after the very first 1-hour treatment, I found that the drainage systems in my eyes and my nose and my ears all cleared. I've got to put drops in my eye at that point every hour, and for the first time for many, many months, I could actually taste those drops after I had dropped them into my eye, and with that bad chemical taste, which is good because I knew straight away things are working, they're working better. And then I have weekly checks to check the pressure in my eye, which was between 28 and 48, and it has now been around 8, which is a massive reduction. And so with each treatment, I notice I've also, this sounds stupid, but I've also had a really, as a result of all this clearing, I've had an improvement in my hearing as well. So when you are a bit visually impaired, to have better hearing actually makes a real difference to your life as well. And so, the 3rd treatment had me go to I've been going to probably the best glaucoma specialist in Sydney, who had given me 5 operations, who had given me more injections as you can, that had injected special chemicals in the skin of my eye to stop it closing and scarring, and as a result of these Access treatments, he told me yesterday there is no scarring. For 6 months, for 5 operations, he tried to stop that scarring and was unable to, and that was what was leading to this next major operation. And I believe I will be, within not a long time, seeing perfectly again. So it doesn't get any... I don't know how it works. I don't have to understand it. It just works. It's simple as that. And thank you very much. You have no idea what you've done for me.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you haven't.
We opened up all possibilities to happen. I just you want to ask me a question?
Yeah, I was just going to ask Des one more thing. So, so we did another session of what we call the eye process this morning. This is what we're running at the workshop today. And your eyes look completely different even after that 1 hour. Yeah.
Yeah. my vision is clearer, it is brighter, it's slightly more focused, but I had distortion in my vision up till today, really, and now I look across at the Venetian blinds and those lines are all straight. I look across at the, I test myself regularly, what's happening with my vision, and I can see when I look at a long line that's lit that there is no distortion and break in that line. I don't know what to expect. I'm just going to keep enjoying this process and keep doing it.
That's great.
Yeah, and I feel lucky to have found Henry and Jeanette to help me. Anyone out there that's got glaucoma, really give it a go. What have you got to lose?
We could see a physical difference in your eyes as well. They were
Yeah.
all lined up and straight.
Yeah.
And, and that was just after the hour, and it's quite amazing. It's
Yeah.
like it's one of those situations where we looked at each other and, oh my goodness, we should have taken before and after photos of this.
Yeah.
Just to
Well, this eye has waved out in the past. It's just because it hasn't had enough vision to hold it straight. I can feel it twitching and wanting to straighten already. But that wasn't. Yeah, so that's a bonus, really. I can live with an eye that wanders, but so long as I can see. Yeah.
It's like Cliff Richard with his living doll and the roving eye.
Yeah.
Bad joke.
No, I've heard them all. That's
Yeah.
all. It's all good.
Great, thanks, Des.
Thank you.
So you actually came through as a referral, and you're a client of Jeanette's.
I am. Yes.
Hi, Jeanette. Tell us about you. Tell us about your professional
Okay.
background.
So I'm a clinical psychologist, but I've been using Access for many years now, and I've done all the foundation courses with Gary and Dane. Initially when I met Des, my intention was to work with his doctor, and he had told me that he was going to go for surgery, and I said, well, there's no harm in trying something, and maybe we could just buy some time for him. And so I started off with the Access bars, and specifically intentionally trying to help his vision. Mostly I thought that maybe if we could strengthen his ability to survive the surgery and the next surgery, it would be successful. That's what I was thinking. But I'm really pleased that he's had really positive results so far, and the doctor doesn't. Has he set a date for the surgery yet?
We had a date set for last Thursday.
All right, but
So-
not since.
No, but
Okay.
2 weeks before that, he still insisted that I was having the surgery and wanted me to. So I only had one visit with you,
Yeah.
and I had improved, but still he said I'll give you 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and signed the papers. You're coming in 2 weeks to have this 3.5 centimetre plate with tubes attached, inserted into my eye, which, and again, you did say, let's just buy you some time, and you did. Yeah.
Okay, so some of the processes I actually used was zero sum of trauma and MTVSS as well as the bars. And also I remember saying that one of molecular manifestation and molecular demanifestation. I thought that might be appropriate. Avoid any scarring from past surgeries. Oh, that's my idea.
Yes. Yeah. And again, can't thank you enough. Do you know what it's like to go wake up in the morning and open your eyes and see
Very
something?
welcome.
And how else, Jeanette, would you say that the
Well, I
tools
also
have changed
used,
your
well,
practice?
I talked to Des initially because after the initial assessment, I did do some psychotherapy with him for other issues and just prepping him for, what could be done,
Yeah.
being open to listening.
Yeah, you were just confident we can do some work with this. We can do some energy work. I believed you 100%. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You asked. Yeah. Again, you did ask me the question. What is it you don't want to see? So I had to personally delve into that, but still, I was up against that serious operation, the last ditch operation just to save my vision, and that was it. There was nothing left after that. and there was no guarantee that was going to be a success. So now it's not even on the boards. I'm fully confident that.
Or we'll be monitoring you.
Yeah, well,
from
yeah,
now on.
yeah. Well, we improve it. I mean, if anyone ever questions this, I've got paperwork to show you that. I've had more than 100 needles in these eyes. I've had hundreds of shots of lasers. I've had, you name it. This was a last ditch. It was a last ditch thing. Yeah. It was the first time I've had all these treatments, all these operations. This was the first one that really scared me, and now I don't have to do it. Now it's been holy show.
That's incredible. Thanks, Des. And Jeanette, how did you discover access consciousness?
Well, actually, it was another access therapist. Well, actually, she had travelled the world doing a whole lot of other therapies all over the world, and this was her latest one. But actually, she'd known about it for many years because Gary's been talking about it for at least 20-something years.
Yeah.
So she invited me to go down to Canberra to learn how to do the bars from Andrew Reid, and that was life changing for me. My first experience of the bars was really amazing, and I had a lot of visions, and so I was curious. So I started.
Right. And then you incorporated it into your professional work as well?
Yes, if people are open to it, especially people like Des, he had no other really choice except surgery, and a lot of people are trying to avoid that.
Okay. That's great. Thank you very much. And we'll just do a swap over. Cherie, who is holding the camera, she will come on camera now as I take the camera over. So, Cherie, tell me about your experience of access consciousness and the tools and body processes and the bars. So
Okay, I'm a beauty therapist, and I've always been interested in things that I can't see and touch, and always wanting to improve myself and my clients. 30 years experience being a therapist, always bringing the best out in people. And I was aware of Access probably 4 years ago, and I downloaded little bits and pieces, the clearing statement, and then I needed some help with family issues, so I went along to see beautiful Jeanette, whom I had met about 12 years ago doing another course, and yes, within one treatment I started realising that what she was doing, I knew who I was and I knew what other people's stuff was, so it felt like jigsaw puzzles had come away so that I could feel what was mine and what my thoughts were and who I was, and I've never felt so empowered. I've been able to tell family members to, I don't want to say the words, but let me be, I'm fine. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with me.
Give us a bit more of a clue.
Do you want me to say F off?
Yeah, that's good enough for the camera. It's all right. That's allowable on social media.
Yeah, and I think, how dare you, of all my adult years, having to put up with your nonsense, trying to fit into a family that has limited my light. I've got a lot of light to give, and I think we all need a lot of light in this world. And it's more obvious as time goes by, and I'm no longer feeling squashed, and there's so much potential I can feel. So I'm so excited. I'm just excited. So I can share this with whoever comes into my world. And I'm doing that.
That's fun.
Yeah, I'll go visiting people's homes and put their head down here and away I go. But Jeanette has actually trained me. I am a bars facilitator. And I love it. I love it. I understand it. I get it. I read some of the books and I just get it. And I think, finally.
Do you teach classes, or are you just a practitioner?
No, I'm just a practitioner.
Okay, so you're a bars practitioner. So I just thought I'd clear that up with the camera.
Thank you.
That's all right.
Bars practitioner.
Practitioner, yeah. So bars facilitators, they actually teach the classes as well to train the. But that's great.
No, but
so
the next thing will be the energetic facelift.
Absolutely.
radio tuned and all the rest of it, all the other courses I've done over the years, but nothing has stood out like this.
Ooh, great.
Exceptional.
So obviously the energetic facelift goes very well with your work as a beauty therapist. But you've already incorporated the bars and into
I do. I give people tasters,
Mm-hmm.
and they think, "What is that?" And they leave feeling very, very peaceful.
Right.
Very, very peaceful.
And have they followed up? Have they come back for like just
Yes, they
exclusively
have.
just bar sessions?
Quite interesting experiences, private experiences, and I've witnessed it in my own. Yeah, I've witnessed it. Experiences.
That's fantastic.
So they not only get more beautiful with you, as well as more aware.
Yeah, more peaceful.
Yeah, that's nothing
And
like.
the older we get, the more we can be carrying baggage. It just all falls away.
I'd come out of there feeling really peaceful too. Whenever Janet's treated me, I'd usually just go and sit somewhere like the Corso in Manly and listen to some music, or go on a ferry ride, and I'd just be so blissed out. It was just wonderful just to have a calmness of mind and the peace it was. Yeah, and I really hold on to that. I enjoy that.
How beautiful is that? And more people like being like that in the world. How beautiful would it be in the world? We were just saying during lunch that what a great day to spend the day in, kind of like how the energy of being just peaceful here and expansiveness and
It's luxury.
it's a luxury. Yeah, it's not something that many people are currently choosing, but it is certainly there if people would like to choose it now.
So I have known Sherees for many, many years, and I always knew that she was a powerful healer. But when she came to me recently, she would, sort of become so limited and upset and hurt. And now she's just opened up and expanded her possibilities, her career, and, what she's going to be doing.
Yeah.
And things have changed. Actually.
They have. And there's no going back.
Good
Because
for you.
it can't go back, it's gone forever. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, healers can show up in so many different shapes and forms. Because I remember a conversation that Gary Douglas had, or the story he often tells. Because people like real estate agents can be healers as well. People to show if they show them around in a certain property, and that property could be something that dream property that they've been looking for all their life, or it just gives so much contribution to them. So that's one way in somebody who can do healing without the normal kind of like hands-on traditional ways of what a healer is. So you've kind of like snuck in as well with in your practice as well as a beauty therapist. You've kind of like doing some healing work there now. And
I've done different family members and they love it. I don't fully explain too much because it might freak them out, but they're wanting more.
they want more.
I did one treatment, I've done 2 or 3 on my mother, and I did one MTV-SS, and she's got lots of layers of health issues, and already she's starting, it's sloughing off, and it's just about moving through it to get it back to full health.
Well, that is a really wonderful demonstration of kind of like, how you don't have to necessarily explain or kind of like force it on somebody. If you can make them curious.
Yeah.
That is such
I want more of that, they say.
Yeah.
I want what she's got.
Great. Any last comments?
Oh, there probably is. They're not coming to me at the moment.
Okay.
Just
Well,
this big smile.
maybe we'll switch on the camera again if you have something else, or maybe even we'll do a Facebook Live if there is more stuff coming up later on when we finish. But we're going to continue on. And so we're going to continue on with the afternoon portion of this workshop. So if you're curious,
Sayonara.
sayonara. And we'll put the contact details below for each of these guys and myself. So bye for now.
Bye.